Hi everybody, it's Nana Marie, Quebec City. Do you mind if I live? Because it appears this is where we're going. This is where I'm heading. Uh, oh boy. Anyway, do you mind if I smoke? I'll just show you what's on there. It's new, right where you put your lips. What is that called? Right? Black. What? I can't say it. Put it right around my lips there. I'm not afraid of it. Hasn't killed me yet. I recommend everybody do what they want to do. In every part of your life, do what you want to do. The thing is, though, do you know what you want to do? Or do you think you know what you want to do? Okay, so this is going to have to be a renewal because I'm not dying. There's no way after today. Well, I still feel like I am. My heart is still full of fluid. I'm still spitting up a lot of weird fluid. I still am hunched over. I have to have my walker or I'm going to faint if I don't have something to hang on to. That's really like my gravity is down, down, down. Um, I lost my sense of smell. I lost my left side or my right side of my face. And they told me there that I have no time left a year ago. So anyway, I wanted to share with you everything, everything that was given to me. I want to share with you the world. And that's impossible on this channel. You see, I picked up a bad reputation with the people here that run the show. And because of that, they're artificial intelligently making me out to be retarded or something. Unable to get views, right? So I noticed tonight, and I'm going to show you. You're going to have a wild ride with me tonight. I'm going to show you how grand and great PTSD is when you sit down and you think about it. It's so good, but the poor souls who go through it have no idea it's good at all. They don't know what to do with it because with Phonologans who invented the alphabet in Tunisia, entire Tunisia, the island off of Tunisia, north of Africa, They want to tell you right now, and they do in the books and the Googles, that Tyre, that octagon kind of weird shaped island that's off of Africa, they want to tell you that that place is somewhere else now. Lebanon. I think first they said Israel, now Lebanon. But in my dreams, and remember, this is just my dreams, I'm not trying to cause anybody trouble here. In my dreams, that's where I came from originally. And we invented the alphabet. Not the Greeks. But this entity came in a ship, and, well, wiped out a third of them, I think, and then enslaved the other 2/3. They became slaves to this ship that came with the ink, I'll say it, with the ink. And the ink was so appealing to someone there in Tyre, in North Africa. It was very appealing, that ink that came from squid, because it made the color purple, the red and the blue. And we have now a color. They convinced this leader of Tyre, he wasn't a king. He became a king, but he wasn't a king. He wanted to be imperial after he was convinced. You see, they come and they only have to corrupt the bigwig, right? If they corrupt the bigwig, that's it. You know, he could sell out his whole country. He could sell his whole alphabet. But I think it was more of a con job, and I'm very certain he was swindled out of it. And then once the the massacre happened, that was it. And so that's when Tunisia joined the party. There was already a party going on in Europe and everywhere, with this new entity. A woman asked me today on this. I made a comment about Jesus because I know the heart of Jesus also came from there. And is here. I just say it. is that she said, her name is Debbie from the mountains. She said, you can't just say anything like that. Give me a Bible verse. You can't just say it. What's the verse? Oh boy, here we go. The data people, the proof people, the ones that create doubt about hearts and don't know the real message. They only know the verses. They only know the words, but they cannot comprehend them. They can't feel them. They can't understand. It's like a totally different language. She doesn't know. So I thought, well, maybe it's a teaching opportunity for me. So I went in and got my hope chest out there, took out the old King James, picked it up. I said, well, what verse could I give her? What from? Right away, Jesus said, Mark, 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 go to Mark. All right, let's go to Mark. Well, I don't want to read through all this. It's in red, the parts I talk, so just, I said, okay. So we went to, I said, well, I want to do something that will help her, right? Not just slap her face with it, but really help her. So how can we find a verse quickly? Because it was just a minute ago she asked, I want to be lickety split for her. And he said, well, that one. So I looked down, and it was Mark chapter 6, verse 11, which is the 9 upside down. It works for me. It also works with numerology, as it's the number 8. So I thought, that's perfect. What does it say? And I had to make sure that it wasn't bullshit and mixed up. And it wasn't. You should go, if you go type it in. What is 611 Mark? Ah! Well, it is Jesus calling upon his disciples, and 12 of them, and saying, go forth and be a witness for testimony. And if they don't hear you or see you or care about you in any way, dust yourself off and bring your testimony. And I've said that. I'm a human behavior observer. I knew it, and it's all I've done my whole journey. Non-judgmental, just observing and feeling how I am being treated here in every freaking stage. It wasn't easy. And you don't understand because you can't feel anything. And I know that because I couldn't feel anything until they brought my son back from the dead. The beings of light brought my son back to my bedroom in 2016 and told me a story. And so many clues in the story. I told them I'm not going to remember, oh my God, all those details. They did give me all the details. They did give me the details. But my teeny weeny little brain here can't cope with all of that. It's too huge. It's the whole world in history. So it had to unfold the way it did, slowly. And I had to have time to let it come out of me, slowly. And that's not easy for me, I'm not gonna lie. Slow is not easy. So, maybe that's why I've been sick, right? Maybe that everything I go through is on purpose to do this journey with my plus one in our simulation of fantasy. And I'll get to that. What simulation of fantasy? Well, we are spirits, guys, here for a time with our human senses to use them to evolve. But the one sense that Aristotle doesn't mention, and no one else ever more since, is not the feeling of touch, what people think, touch, ew, stay away, but the feeling of love. That's our first sense. That's the one you come with when you're born. You're Christ flame. That is all you have. Your other senses have to develop. And they develop by what they're seeing at home and experiencing at home. There's your senses being developed. But your first emotion can be covered up with those other senses. What you're seeing, ooh, what you're hearing, ow, what you're tasting, yuck. And your feelings of love and appreciation kind of go to school and learn about gratitude. You go to Sunday school or regular school, you're going to learn about gratitude and being grateful for what you do have, even if it's nothing. There's not a lot of talk about manifesting out of nothing, is there? That we can do that. We can manifest anything. And I'm going to show you, okay? I'm going to show you. Don't hang up yet. You can have nothing and start over as long as you have light. As long as you have light. I mean, a light bulb or something, right? I gotta redo this. Oh, it's reversed. Oh, well. It's supposed to say remember love and heart. It goes above my art I'm going to show you. But I made a mistake and you can't tell I fixed it. It's, you guys are so picky about that that I wanted to make sure I spelled it right. So I'm going to redo it to put on my left wall. I'm facing the left. Right. This wall I'm going to show you too. It's going to be the old wall, the old right brain. And this is going to be my new left brain, because my left brain couldn't stand it before. There was nothing on the wall. Took it all down. I couldn't figure out why are all my pictures on that side and none on that side. I've tried putting blankets up there. I've tried putting a map up there. Nothing goes up there. So it's been kind of blank white wall. But now I'm ready. I'm ready. It's going to be filled with the future. It's going to be filled with the now and the future. The one I'm imagining, the one I'm manifesting, the one I'm watering. You plant seeds any old seed you want. What do you want in your life? Well, I gotta go somewhere. And if I'm gonna go anywhere, I'd want to go back there to Tyre. But things have to change first. So, but it doesn't matter. I am not to wonder how I can get my dream done. No, that's not my job. That's logistics, safety, and protection. That's my left brain, my +1. And they figure it out because I couldn't. And that's another part of getting to know yourself in soul recovery. When you do get to know yourself, you know what you need. You don't have to do it all. But women often do think they have to because they pretty much have to. Here, since, you know, well, the first slavery started in the very, very, very beginning. The ones who invented the Garden of Eden for your mothers and wives and children, daughters to live through for eternity and manifest and evolve that bullshit. Snakes in the grass. But, you know, they benefited. The stars benefited by giving up the heart of their union they were sent with. And that just created children who have to hide their first sense while they live. They have to. It's not possible to cope with watching. I know this because my spirit has been like a child since 2016. Like, totally like a child. And, but lucky I still had my faculties, so I could hide it for the most part, but I came here to Quebec homeless and abandoned by the entire family who do not like the truth at all. You could pretty much say that for everybody. They're hiding their feelings. They're so ashamed. They're covering up. And you know what? That's what I'm feeling. I feel you. I feel you. And as an empath, damn, you hurt. Oh my God. Like you really do. And you don't even know it. You don't even know how you want to break down and cry. You're seizing up yourself. You're in shock because you can see things are unfolding way different than you ever dreamed when you were a child. But it's good. Everything's good. In the end, it will be good. It will be. It's always good, okay, when the truth is out. Nothing can be bad when the truth is out. And I notice nothing is bad. Everything goes right. Everything's on time. You don't need a watch. You can tell when you got to get things done and when you don't. it's it's a magical world when you erase what you learned and you live by your own senses and you begin to see with your own eyes, ears, and you taste things and you go, oh my God, that really sucks. And you know, I'll never touch that again. And then you find out later, oh, Harvard just said this causes cancer. My senses were right about that artificial sugar. And now, what do they say? I said in the 70s when it came out, oh, that stuff's cancer. And I never touched the artificial sugar. But it sure got popular with the fat ladies. You know, they're getting a little fat. And they'll do anything for their guy. You know? And it tastes like a horror. It's a horror taste. But they get used to it and now they drink it all the time. Coke Zero. You know what's that? Coke Zero. That attracts women. Oh, I want to have nothing. I just want water, but it tastes like Coke. Coke Zero. That's what I want. Water that tastes like Coke. So I don't get that. Yeah, we did it to our. Everybody's involved. I mean, I wrote the book, Evil Eyes, a daughter's memoir, about my mom. So, but we created her, and we created all of them, really. But mother destroyed my father before he was 20 years old. And he lived his life manifesting everything she judged him to be by the time he was 20. And my father was an emotional reactor, like me, to bullshit. And how do you cope with gaslighters of reality? Like, this is a betrayal beyond what it are you talking? Why are I bet they're so right? You know, they'll nail you. They'll they'll say you did this specific thing, and that's wrong. That's a sin, or that's wrong. And you did. You did do that. But you know, making mountains out of molehills, judging him, that is a shock that a wife could judge as much as it's a shock for women that her husband thinks she's a slave. Mom didn't think so. So my mother's parents were Eunice and Edwin Oye, O-I-E. And mom's name was Eleanor. And somebody emailed me and said, when I mentioned that weird little quirk in her family there, they all had E names, but Mom never mentioned it to me. I never talked about it. Why? What's the E thing all about? And the Oi, you know, she's white from North Vancouver, originally from Norway. Where's the Oi name come from? apparently, oh, Norway, OIE. But that was a corrupted oi. That was a corrupted oi. They got them. They got them. They get the leader. They corrupt the leader. The country will be corrupt. Blackmail, debt, threat, or fame, money, whatever rocks your boat, they will find. And people want something for nothing. Really, they do. You wouldn't believe how many people want something for nothing. Like this woman that was lying to me on my channel, pretending she was all supportive, Barbara Lake from Halifax or Nova Scotia. She knows my granddaughter, and she'd been playing me, being my best friend, until she accidentally posted one of my granddaughter's videos winning a championship in horse racing, barrel racing. I said, what is that? I saw this little video. And I looked again. She must have done it when she was drunk. And there was this narcissistic little girl, teen bopper person, blonde hair, with her trophy, doing her circles, so proud. I'm not proud of her. I'm not proud of anybody who gaslights reality. She learned it. She learned it from her upbringing in the step family world, step grandparent world, because her mother wasn't there and her dad is dead. So she grew up in the step grandparent world without me, without my influence, because that's the way it is here. You know, I must be just so evil, right, guys? But you know, it's the gaslighting. They flip the tables, and that's what you're going to find out when you die. That's going to be the problem. You got gaslighters, and then you have their supply, and that's the masses. The gaslighters and the supply spread it, the fire. And make sure you stay down for them, because they got to look after their master, because they get paid or threatened. Or they were trained. Their brain is literally trained through mass hypnosis to love evil and hate good. Hate heart. Hate anything that comes from the heart, impulsively, intuitively, or even for survival. Nope. You gotta go by the book. Just watch any Mayday show, and you'll see that these pilots are being trained away from their human senses completely. They just gotta sit there and let this machine do everything for them. And if they're crashing, they gotta take a notebook and check lists, and no, you're not allowed to use your intuition. It goes by the computer now. And they can't feel their way or intuitively respond. You got 10 seconds. Pull up, pull up. 10 seconds. Quick, George, what's on the list? Literally, they have to do that. And I can't help but point out that I am watching a program called Plane Accidents, and there's a lot of them. Just saying. I don't trust Boeing, but you know, the majority of people do, so go on ahead. And not having that sense of love, you will lose your gift, women. You lose magic, and you won't be able to create anything light in the dark. But look around your own house. I'm going to show you my apartment, I guess. Let's see. Me, supposedly in this heart failure, dying and bent over like I am, using a walker because I absolutely do need it, or I will fall over. This is the feelings I have inside. So I feel vertigo. And so I need that. But right now, I can take you on my tour. When I got to this place, it was set up for me. I mean, I'm not kidding. He had just remodeled it. The only room he didn't paint or remodel or anything was the front bedroom where I sleep. And it's just as well, it's where I do most of my smoking. It wasn't done 6 years ago when I moved here. But the rest he had redone. And it was white walls. And I had a dream when I was a child that I was going to end up in a place with white walls. And probably some institution. But no, it was here. And numbers worked for my spirit after the beings of light and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, here I am in this house, it's a house with 4 apartments. And then in the bathroom, there's this picture I'm going to show you with the music thing. But what I wanted to say before I took you around was back to E's again. E, Eleanor, Edwin, and Eunice. Somebody in my channel, before I got off track about Barbara, said E is the 5th letter of the alphabet. It's funny alphabet, right? Because we invented that. Not the Greeks. So she said, it's number 5. Well, 555, that's my number to know everything is on time, on track. That's 555 to me. So, the stream is working out in the simulation of mine because it is a simulation of fantasy we are allowed to play out, guys. You can manifest anything out of nothing. You really can. But you can only do it with emotion. You have to have emotion. And even if the emotions are dark, and I'm going to show you how dark my emotions got. And I did things you call it post-traumatic stress disorder. You're afraid of them. You're afraid of the word. I don't blame you. I'm afraid of the word. But I got to know it pretty well sitting here and working out every emotion I had regarding all of the maltreatment, abuse, rapes, robberies, murder, and then throw dirt on top of me. I had to work through all that in a state of mind that could not cope. So betrayed at every angle. When awareness was hitting me, right? It's like when you die. Although you don't know this, like, oh, I did not know. Oh. And you see your life review, and that happened to me in 2016. And I saw that my life with my son and how wrong everything was. And how I missed my mother's intuition. I had none. I didn't protect her from Sodom. I did not protect her because I couldn't for some reason, you know? And we know why. She's not here. And that was the point, and that's why they've replaced women on television with men in drag. They can't have women. They would never behave like that, for one thing. Like Madonna, like Dolly Parton, or Oprah, or Martha Stewart. Look at that tall dude. Come on now, Martha Stewart. If they got a male name, it's a male. And the guys expect their women to keep their figure like that. Even though women are at home giving babies. Not looking like that. And don't know where two men get babies. There are two men, not a, you gotta get that picture out of your mind. They're not a family, what you see on TV. Okay? They're men with kids. That is not misinformation. And the expectations you have of women is over the top. To be a man. Come on, be a man. Let's go to the gym. Come on, honey. You never go to the gym. Let's go to the gym. What are you saying? You fat slob. You can't just have kids. You've got to look good for me. I'm the star. I'm the thing. I'm the leader. Then you have to look good. Or, adios. Because I can look good. I feel good. I feel good. And I know that I should. Come on, bros. Let's go to the hockey game. She's all miserable. What he's missing is beyond magic. He doesn't know what he's missing in heart. So I encourage him to look around his place right now. Is it empty? Or is it full of stuff? Does it have a dog and strawberry wine? Is it dirty? Is the food fresh? What are you going to have for dinner on Sunday? Do you know? So, and ladies too. What what what's your house look like? Is it brown and orange and dark green? Like earth? You're earthbound. Where's your color? Ladies, many of you have it. Many of you do know how to put sparkle and light and joy back into the house when the dark shadow leaves. You just intuitively start doing it by yourself after you cry yourself to sleep every night. then you begin to want to feel better and you take care of yourself because you know how. That's your gift. You know how to take care of yourself. You know how to heal. You know how to get those plants out and do things with food. And you know how to sew. You know something. You got talent. Unless you're trained to be a man, work with tools and mechanics, like my granddaughter was, and know how to cook. Didn't get any example out of me at all. Fast food, chemical food, or the vegan and vegetarian food. That works, for the system. Little bits, and not too good. Not too good. And it's normal, right? And you get boring, and your mom feeds it to you. And what do you think of that? Well, you know what I thought. I was never introduced to the flavor of garlic. Never. Not until I was in my 30s and started going to the keg, Caesar's, for steak dinner. I said, what is this flavor? What do we call this flavor on this steak? I thought garlic was something East Indians ate all the time and you had to get away from the smell. That's what I thought garlic was. But no, no, that was something else in the air at that house. Because garlic became my whole world here. And it's very much a healer, guys. Yeah. You can eat a whole garlic every day and you keep the parasites away. Women know how to tend to the heart, your heart, stars, who wanted fame instead, and to be the leader and powerful and right and mansplain life, not be told or analyzed. No, you don't want that because it's not in your brain to want that. You don't want just the responsibility to build and then to also protect, keep safe, and be the logistical manager that every woman craves. Craves a logistical manager, a left brain that can sort through the many things on her brain, which are all good. But when they're dark and she can't see, it's crazy land. A little bit of self-awareness can go a long way. And in my journey, when I got to Quebec, I had a lot of time to work through. And what I'm saying about my experience with what they call post-traumatic stress disorder is, for me, it is more like present trauma. It is a present trauma of unspeakable proportions, too. But you must treat it like a present thing. Saying post, it removes you from what you need to look at, what you need to see. It removes you. from looking. And I had the fortune to look. And what I saw was real. And it really is real what is going on. It really is true what I am feeling. And I must believe in myself above all others. And so must all of us believe in ourselves, if that's not against the law yet. You can believe in yourself, especially when you're in PTSD. Really, you can trust your actions. I look back my life, and the actions I did during PTSD events, which really only started in 2017 for me, what I've observed, I never ever felt such a thing before, such terror of everything around you and fear of everyone. You can't trust anyone. What do you do with all that? And you're alone, right? You can't talk to people because they have their program to go through and they're afraid of you. And if you're paranoid, you're going to do something to yourself. So we better get you in there. And we better give you this. And we just shut you up. Just shh. We'll take care of you. It's okay. Calm down. Calm your emotions down. Don't have them. Okay? Let's go not have those emotions. I'm going to show you something. I did weird things in my first bout of PTSD here. I call it present trauma memories of betrayal. And the first memory of betrayal I felt I had was by my father, whom I remember showing up to visit, having to honk his horn until she called the police and took him away and had him diagnosed as psychopath for his behavior, his old emotional reactions. Look at him. Well, he's an animal honking like that. For his kids, right? For his children. And then sometimes he brought reinforcement, my uncle, and get in if he brought my uncle. And both of them had the strangest habit with me. They kept finding quarters in my ears. And my dad say, take the quarters out of your ears. You can't hear me? So I remember my dad very fondly, bringing quarters to a little girl who was suffering. Well, now I'll show you. In PTSD, here, I glued quarters places around here. I had no idea why. What is this? Like, I woke up 4 months later and I went, what are those quarters doing there? And I didn't know what those quarters were doing there until tonight. So, that says emotion for evolution. I had that up there. and there's a quarter glued to the wall. That just says, it is impossible to create light in the moon glow. That says love story. I don't know if I'm showing this one backwards. This is my art. And you know, the first word I learned here in Quebec was je suis. Je suis looks like the word Jesus. And then you come to find out je suis means I am. What? Yeah. Je suis Cheryl Ann Davis. There it is. And see the quarter? I stuck it. That's terrible I did that. Well, that's just my cannabis being made. I'm making my oil. Yeah, I got it. I got out today. I actually got out today. And it's this musical in this thing, this glass. Lynn Chamberlain. Anyway, I knew it was all set up for me. But that's my, oops, I can't show myself. I'm in my nightie. And that's my door to my laundry room. This is my bathroom with the blue light. It's huge. I just got the dishwasher this year. I was so sick I couldn't do any dishes. They're piled up everywhere. All right, I'll go here. Well, let's go to the back bedroom first. This is the room I use for storage. It's a back bedroom. It has a TV, a fireplace. This bed, I do my crafts on it. All my crafts for this room. There's some art. That's one of the first ones. And then around the corner, all my cat stuff and storage. It's like a pantry. I keep a pantry in there. Perfect for me. There's my heart. That's my sort of pantry storage. This is where I do my coffee and tea. Look at how clean this place is. How? That's my question. And how do I have all this food that is so good for me here and ready to go? But I'm dying. I'm dying of that heart failure. You barely stand up. Okay, and this is my living front room and my wall, my right wall. Now where all my dark art was going, and it's all done while I was in trance. And it wasn't until months later that I was able to figure out what everything meant and translate it for you. There's my train I brought from home. No, I didn't bring anything. Frank mailed it. I'm going to show you something. I have to sit down. I'm sweating profusely coming into this room, so I honestly think it could be a lot of radiation too, you know. So, but whatever, I'm not dying. If I was gonna die, come on, they're not taking me. It's not what this is about, not yet. I'm not finished yet. That's why they said just now I'm not finished. And I have to finish. Our simulation of fantasy was corrupted, and I am uncorrupting it. Okay? And if I'm not doing it for anyone else here, I'm doing it for me and my child. Because the real Lord in everybody's life must be their children. And I'm going to show you why, what I found out tonight. I was putting this, whoops, a bit dizzy. I was putting my art back into this room when I had this one. This is, I don't know if you can really even see it. I don't know. I mean, it's virtually a mass of nothing. And all these stars were on it. Right? You can see all the stars were on it. That's all it was like that. I don't remember doing it. It's one of these ones that was just sitting on the wall. And I thought, oh, it would look good up here. It would look really good up here with my little dark place I have for Earth. And as I was putting it up, it fell down. And all of them fell off. All of the stars, every one of them, fell off at the same time. All of them. And I went, what the heck? And I found a message. Now, if I have to read it for you. It says, your child turned on you. Child is God. Your God. Your only hope. And if your child turns on you, that's her problem. That's all of our problems. And that is what almost happened to my father and to me and to my son. You cannot allow yourself to be ruled by evil and not recognize it for your children's sake, because you have no hope without them. You have no hope. We are a thread of life, and each thread is corrupted by the same entity who started here. That's Tyre, Tunisia, North Africa. And we invented the alphabet. And we could manifest love. We can manifest brilliance, like the alphabet, with love. Love of life, love of the senses. But once that was taken, and then the Greek language is the foundation of all, or the Greek alphabet rather, because they twisted it. They twisted it, but it's the foundation of all language, including Latin. Like, it's all the foundation. I am quite, even though I didn't go to school for any of this, I feel fluent in Latin, believe it or not. I know root words. I know how to get to root words. So, and I knew alphabet was going to be a big part of this. I just had no idea it would be everything. And so different than what we knew. So I'm going to decorate, that wall when I'm ready. Oh boy, this room. Oh, this is my bedroom. This is the room that wasn't even painted. Now, my heart is kind of a mess in my bedroom, isn't it? And that's my wall that used to have my map and my art. Now it just has my number codes. And my bed, which is nice because I can look out in the street and just watch the people go by. And there's my Bible, 6:11. Look it up, Mark 6:11. Look it up now. And I don't have a vibrator or anything, no. Don't need one. Mental men. Don't never stick nothing in there. I have plenty of fun. Now it's my closet. And I have renewed my clothes. And it just feels like heaven to me here. Everything is perfect. And it has a place. Everything. It's my heart. I got a vacuum cleaner last year. I got a walker this year. And this was donated to me. Look at the furniture. Like, my God, this was 3-piece glass with little moons on it. See the moons? This is a marble, pure marble, and glass with 3 pieces with no marks, given to me with this blue sofa that I protect with a blanket and wash from my nicotine, Everything was given to me. This table and chair set, wooden. When I got here, this Quebec is, well, apparently they do in British Columbia too. They help people with secondhand furniture and whatnot. So I feel that I gotta shut the door here. I let that go all night long. Today I got up and I only had a little bit of my medicine left. I was at the end. But things happened and I ended up not being able to, I was forced out. I was forced to have a cold shower. I was forced to eat a good meal. I was forced to tidy up and do a load of laundry and put that there. Like, it's like a force. It's like my logistical manager was here. And he is, by the way. But it's not when I'm sitting here thinking about it. It just happens, where I feel connected to my plus one. And he's crossed over. So if you have someone crossed over, if your plus one is crossed over, it's not too late, to start crying and talking to either your heart or your star. Because apparently it's not too late. To make the kids happy. That's what I'm saying. It's not too late. You don't want your children to turn on you. Because what happens is they will not be born with you again in your thread. They'll turn. They'll find a stranger mother. Either within your family, maybe a niece, maybe a distant cousin, but it won't be you. And that almost happened to me, and it did happen to my mother. It happened to my mom. Like, I would never, ever be born unto her again after what I went through. And then in 2020, my father came to me. And I guess pull the quarters out of my ears and listen, because he says that to me a lot now. Now I know why. The quarters are my code, that this is on purpose, that I can refer back to things people did to help me remember that we are in a simulation, and you want to come out of it. You are going to come out of it with your next life immediately. My mother was reborn when I agreed to open my heart and listen in 2020 to my dad. She agreed to be born again unto her favorite granddaughter. And she's born again. My mom is going through, they're going to go through hell. Yeah, same old system, right? And no ability to remember this life. That would be wiped out. All she has is emotional memories. And if I were to go there, she'd probably cry and scream, because emotionally we are connected. So if you got a baby that screams around somebody, Trevor screamed around my mother too. Yeah. We cannot allow ourselves to be taken over and corrupted for any reason at all. And if you are, you have to be willing to give it up. If you want. Right? It's all if you want for your fantasy. You may want a warrior story, I don't know, for your next life. You may want to, whatever you're sitting and thinking about, if you're sitting and thinking about somebody else, like how horrible they are or what rotten people did things to you, like they did terrible things to me. But I love them all. There's no forgiveness either, because once you get it, they were torn. We're all in this together. We're love. We accept and love each other unconditionally when we have heart involved, right? But when it's all just stars wanting fame, alpha, no heart, you won't get heart. You will not get heart. You will not get love. You will be abused over and over and over again, karmatically. Back and forth, back and forth. But now I am to understand a reset is happening again, where we've had plenty of must blow this place up times in our history. And as history does, it's repeating. And there are parts, big parts, that have to go. And I just want to make sure that people realize that life is not television. You can't turn it off and walk away and think about something else. And life doesn't happen quickly. There's no time. You can take your time. Take all the time you need. But get started. Baby steps. One little baby step at a time. And if that just means shutting the door for a couple of months or years, shut the door. And find yourself. You're not going to find yourself in your partner or your children. You can only find yourself inside of you. And then if you can learn how to love yourself enough, you can take a baby step. And start with something you want to do. Any old crazy idea, worst idea ever, actually, you can do that. What you've been avoiding. I'm going to ask you, what is the worst thing that can happen if you gave up some time for yourself, for some soul discovery, to find out if you're paranormal? What is paranormal? I spell it P-A-I-R, pair, normals. I call Trevor and I's fantasy simulation now the paranormals. We are paranormals. A plus O. He needed my heart, believe you me, and I needed his logistics and safety and feeling of protection. And I got it. I have it all the way. And if you're looking for semantics and details that suit you and your story, you're not going to find it. Mine is your story, but you have to find it. Your way, your time. I can't do that. No one can. I am not your God. No one is your God but your child. And if you want to live through your child in your new creation, then create where your child loves you unconditionally and knows you, because nothing is hidden. Nothing is hidden. You can't get away with lying to them. Okay? You can't. And by trying, you're losing. By lying to your God, you lose all. So the attachments to be gone with, or anything but your +1 or and children. Now your +1 can go if he's already gone. But you need your children to love you. Now let's say, for an example, your child was taken away or removed from loving you, right? I don't want to put fear in you because nothing is hidden. And they would know that. Do you understand? They know they go to their own funeral. They see who's crying and who is not. They see who's counting the money and who is not. Nothing is hidden on the other side. Nobody got away with anything. And our children do have ears, eyes, and feelings to know and not say. They're in a state of present trauma when they see so much fear in their parents and shame and anger. This is a destructive way and the easiest way to get children to say goodbye.